Hey guys, what's going on? APL here. APL Fisher on Xbox Live, and this is going to be the second part or continuation of the commentary that I posted a day or two ago. I think I entitled it "Sorry Kid, You're Too Dumb to Be an Astronaut." And that commentary, if you didn't see it, was just answering some Twitter questions, giving kind of stuff about my either life experience, some stories, that kind of stuff. And it seemed to get a really good reception, and you guys really enjoyed it. But like in that video, I said I wanted to touch on another subject that I didn't get a chance to. One of the Twitter questions, honestly, it escapes me who asked it now. I had it written down, but I don't remember who it was. But one of the Twitter questions, or one of the Twitter suggestions I got before I did that video, was for me to talk about the villain. For me to talk about the video that Dylan did, or the hit marker. A lot of you guys should know who he is. If you don't, you're missing out. He's a great commentator and great guy. And he did a commentary called "Life is a Roller Coaster," where he talked about a really difficult situation that he experienced. Well, obviously, and he's still dealing with the death of a close friend when he was in high school, and how difficult it was for him, kind of the experience of getting the news and how hard it hit him, and even now, what it made him realize about life and what's important and stuff like that. And it really resonated with me. It's a fantastic commentary, one of the better commentaries I've ever heard on YouTube. So I'm going to link that video in the description here. But that video really made me think for a couple of reasons. One, because I've experienced something very similar to Dylan in that sense of having a close friend die. But also, too, just kind of stepping back and being like, yeah, life is valuable. We only get one chance, one shot, and whether you believe in the afterlife or whatever, I think most people will agree that your time spent on Earth should be well spent and enjoyed. And when it's taken away like that over in a tragic accident, it's really tough. It makes you wonder why. And I think he kind of touched on we don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. I don't know why that stuff happens. But so I wanted to talk about a little bit an experience I had that was very similar with one of my best friends. This happened about, I guess it's almost 2 years now. I guess a year and 3/4. So one of my best friends and one of my coworkers, a guy that I work with for 3.5, I guess almost 4 years at the company I'm currently with, who died and actually committed suicide. And I just wanted to talk about this a little bit, and you might say, wow, why bring up such a heavy subject on YouTube? Well, typically this channel is me having fun. It's a great outlet for me. I love it, and you guys are great. But I also know you guys can handle, serious stuff like this. And, no, I'm not going to start posting serious commentaries all the time, no. But Dylan's commentary really, really hit home to me, and I decided I really wanted to talk about this a little bit because it also helps me process it. For some reason, talking to you guys here, like in this YouTube format, and it's talking to a couple thousand people or whatever, or I guess almost 30,000 people now for me, it's easier sometimes than talking to people in person, and I don't know why that is. I couldn't tell you. It's a weird phenomenon, but I feel so comfortable talking to you guys. I guess because it's kind of one way in this sense, and then you guys get to respond to me. But it's invaluable, and one of the reasons I absolutely love YouTube. And so just to touch on it, Steve was a close friend of mine for many years. I really only knew him in my work life, but I've been working for a long time. So I guess right out of college, right when I started working at this company. So he wasn't like a childhood friend, but he quickly became a best friend. Worked with him in a couple different positions at the company I'm with now, and he was a really, really, really bright guy. Definitely always had his mood swings, but definitely one of the smartest people I've ever met. Pretty much when it came to being book smart and being able to learn something, whether it was English, advanced math, anything, the guy was a genius, and he also had a great sense of humor. One of the reasons I love him so much. And part of the reason that it was, obviously, anytime there's a death and there's a suicide, it's extremely difficult. So if you've had a family member or a friend ever commit suicide or anything like that, or had anything in your family like that, it's extremely tough. Suicide's I mean, sadly, I have to say I've been in quite a few. I've been to a couple. Depression runs in my family, and I've had uncles succumb to suicide, and a couple other family members over the course of my lifetime. It's not easy to deal with. So it wasn't like, I guess I wasn't totally experienced with it, but I never had a close friend die. And I remember when I got the news. I was actually out sick of work. I worked with him, like I said, I worked with this guy every day. We worked on the same work team or whatever. Did a lot of projects and stuff for the company I worked for. And I got didn't get the call from anyone real close to me. I got the call from my boss, and I thought it was weird that he was calling me. I remember looking at the number and being like, huh, okay, my boss is calling me. I'm out sick. So I just figured he was wondering if I would be able to come in and how sick I was. And I picked up the phone, and he said, "Did you hear the news?" And I had no context really for it. And I said, "No." Like, he sounded real serious, so I thought it was something like, "Oh, the company got sold or bought out." Like, I had no context. And he said, "Steve died." And just like Dylan said in his commentary, I mean, I can remember I can remember the weather. I can remember where I was standing. I can remember what I was doing up until that point, like all that stuff, all the details, like it was like frozen in time. And I was so shocked. And I said, what happened? And he said he killed himself. And I wish I could say I was surprised. I wish I could say, ooh, wow, that's shocking to me. But Steve was always like I said, he had a lot of mood swings. He was a very moody kind of guy, and he was up and down. And throughout the course of our friendship, and even before I knew him, I knew he had talked about suicide or made threats about it. He was in a very up and down relationship with a girlfriend, and he had made these kind of threats before. And one of my other best friends, who I work with, who had known Steve for much longer than I had, had dealt with him for years, and it was just kind of one of those things we figured, that Steve would do. He would do kind of like as a way to trump or win an argument. Well, I'm going to kill myself if this doesn't happen, or if you do this. And he'd been making these what we thought were hollow threats for years. And so I guess I was still shocked because I never thought he would go through with something like that. I really thought it was always a bluff by him, but he had been. If I think back and I think about all the stuff, when you hear something like that, you rack your brain, especially a suicide. You think, well, did he say something? Did it give away hints? And you start looking at yourself and be like, what could I have done? What the survivor's guilt kind of thing, like. And I experienced that hardcore, and even to this day I experience it. I think about things he had said while at work, things where I should have. I knew he was depressed. I tried to hang out with him as much as I could, but could I have done more? Could I have been a better friend? Could I have consoled him more? Could I have forced him to get help, to get counseling? Because we've been telling him. I've been telling him and another friend that he needed it for a long time, or at least therapy. You think about all these things, and man, it's so tough. It's so tough. It's been the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with up until this point. And I still think about it, and actually, verbally processing it with you guys. It's funny. The reason I guess it resonated with me so much is that I kind of block it out of my mind. After it happened for a couple of weeks, I was really tore up about it. But as time fades, you try to move on. You try to forget as much as you can. Not forget the person, but forget the horrible circumstances of what happened. And I don't have an answer. I don't know if someone would have interceded or gotten more involved in his life if this would have happened. But you can't play the what if game. It'll kill you. I'm just kind of rambling here, but I guess what I'm saying is, life is so valuable. Steve, when he killed himself, was only 27 years old. He had a kid with his girlfriend, who now no longer has a father. I think she's 4 years old now. No, 3.5. Um, so it's tough. I don't have any answers, and I just kind of wanted to talk about this and get this out there because I I just want everyone to know, anyone who's experienced this or has gone through it. I know how you feel, and it's the whole processing part of it. I'm not great at, but I want you to know that I there might not be a concrete answer, but nothing is ever worth taking your life over. And if you're ever feeling like that, or if you're feeling like that's something you got to talk to someone. If you're feeling extremely depressed, you need to tell someone, because there's no reason to end your life over. Like in Steve's case, the note he left made it look like that he killed himself over his girlfriend who he thought was cheating on him. He became really paranoid, and I look back later and I know he might have had some sort of really serious mental disease, which you're like best friends with the guy, and you're like, I don't know how I didn't know that. But so yeah, so I don't want to end this on a totally sad note. I mean, I know it's a tough story, and I appreciate you guys listening to it. It means a lot, and definitely leave a comment if you feel like it. If you've experienced the same thing, and kind of what you did to process something like this. I mean, it's a year and a half, 2 years removed, and I'm still processing it. I still don't know exactly how to deal with it, other than talking about it, and I am a little better at talking about it than I used to be. I want to play a song before this commentary ends that my sister wrote. My sister's a musician. I actually posted the song on Twitter at one point. If you don't follow me on Twitter, you probably didn't see it, but it's a song that it's kind of a sad song, but it also kind of comforts me. So I just want to play it and let the video finish. And it's a song that Steve would have really liked. He was a musician as well, and I don't think this was written after he died, but I just kind of want to play this as a tribute to him. And thank you guys so much for listening. I'll let the song finish out.
Wanna be someone that matters. I trade my riches to be wise, but the world keeps spinning faster, and I'm not sure that I'll have time, so I hold on, hold on, hold on to what I know. In my dreams I once was famous. Played for kings and queens and gods, but the sky started falling, and all the people that I saw said